Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. She is. I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would.
I do quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist, are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah. Well, if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you? Are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
You will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
go on, say
speech.
go on. Say the M word. Go on.
No.
Don't
invite. No. I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and asking her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's a racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. So in this clip from the Piers Morgan show, we're gonna watch Marcus or Mark or whatever his name is, Lamont Hill, lose his mind. This guy actually loses his freaking mind. Because somebody almost called him a racial slur. Somebody almost used the N-word. Not at him. Nobody actually called him the N-word, but he lost his mind. Look, he's losing it completely. But you're going to see the biggest hypocrisy that you'll ever notice coming from this guy. So let's not waste any time and get into this video.
The thing with tribalism, it's a natural human instinct. Like, we are literally designed to want to be in communities and want to be a part of a set of community because it ensures our survival. It's been that way since the beginning of time. So the thing is that people are typically going to align with people that share similar features, and that's why we have the tribalism we have going on right now. So the problem is it's not going to go anywhere. I think the problem is that we've had this penting up for literally decades, and this has been a response to it. You have people that are coming out and supporting someone who you guys might deem as a terrible racist, but I think it's also very important to understand how we got here, because if we're going to look at the smaller problem, we can't look at the bigger problem. And it's what I said before, unchecked systemic.
All right, Mark Lamont Hill, your last words on this.
This repeated use of the word, I think, first of all, I want to just register that as offensive, particularly as someone who doesn't identify as a member of that community and who is not, right? I think that's incredibly
I'm the definition of African-American. I'm the definition of African-American.
And troublesome, and as a Sudanese American or an outsider, who's using African-American in a very technical term, the same way that Elon Musk is an African-American, I think is a bit disingenuous. But the bigger issue here, I think, is that, this idea of equating of one side to the other side often loses track of this issue of power. To use his example, when Black people stand up and say, hey, let's build our own stuff. Hey, let's have a Black power movement. That is not the same as a white power. I'll let you speak uninterrupted. Let me finish, please, my Sudanese brother. So when a Black person says, hey, let's preserve our culture, I have no problem with Italians or Irish people or anyone else saying, let's preserve our culture. But when we don't talk about ethnicity, but actual race, and when white people say, let's preserve whiteness, it's an exclusionary practice. It's about preserving laws and practices and tactics that do harm to other people. A Black power movement was about opening stores and building businesses. A white power movement was a white power. That's the giga. A white power movement was about something very, 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 very different. A white power movement included lynchings and included Ku Klux Klan, etc. So let's not pretend that these are opposite sides of the same coin. When white people say, let's save our country, and even using the language of our country, when black people built this thing, when you say that, you're talking about forcing people out of the country. You're talking about laws that discriminate. You're talking about doing harm to people. Let's not pretend these are the same thing, just like these GoFundMe campaigns are not the same thing. I'm okay if everybody gets out of the GoFundMe industrial complex. I'd love that. But let's not pretend that supporting someone for a fair trial is the same thing as supporting a grown white woman berating and calling the N-word to a 5-year-old autistic black child. And the fact that everyone in here can't be unanimous in condemning that says exactly how they're not the same.
I totally agree. I'm going to go to Lily Gaddis and just ask you one more time.
Yeah, so before they go on to this chick here, this is absolutely ridiculous. You just heard what he said. He believes that white people, being pro-white is more harm than it is black people being pro-black. He thinks they're not the same. I completely disagree. They're the exact same thing. The pro-white racists and the pro-black racists are the same thing. Black supremacists, white supremacists. There's no difference about them because their agenda and their goal is all in the same, which is I want power. I want to be the one to be in charge and in control. And how do you achieve that? Being exclusive. That's it, right? So the pro-blacks want segregation back, and the pro-whites want segregation back. They want the same exact things. But see, he sees this as the pro-whites being more detrimental to the pro-blacks or to America and to society as a whole, because he knows that if white people were to exclude themselves from society, they would actually succeed. They would succeed because they're the majority in this country. If white people were to say, you know what, we're going to exclude ourselves from everybody, every minority, black, white, Asian, Mexicans, we do not want to associate, you cannot shop with us, they could do that. If all of them were to empower each other and say, you know what, this is what we're going to do, they could succeed. And that's why he thinks that it's different, right? It's not different because the goal is ultimately the same. Because if black people were able to succeed and take all their power back and segregate themselves and disassociate from society and American culture, if they were able to succeed, he wouldn't have an issue with that. He wouldn't have a problem with that. But see, that's not the case. They can't. Black people and minorities, not just black people, minorities as a whole, cannot succeed and thrive in a majority white country if you disassociate yourself and segregate yourself away from white people. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's not going to work. You're not going to succeed. So that's why he has an issue with this. And you see that, when he's making a reference to white exclusiveness, he's referencing to the KKK and lynchings, right? That's not the modern day white exclusiveness. They probably just want to be left alone. It's the same thing that the pro-blacks want, is to be left alone. So this is hypocritical. It's the same exact thing. Y'all are, the same coin, different sides, right? Pro-blacks, pro-whites, black supremacists, white supremacists, same exact people. It's just different skin tones, different skin colors. They have no morals. The only thing that they want is power. Period. And this guy is a clown that he doesn't even realize that.
I mean, you've been so unashamedly proud of being a racist today, proud of using the N-word whenever you feel like it. You've had a bit of time to think about this. Is that how you want people to leave this panel debate, with thinking of you as a disgusting racist?
I don't really care what people think about me. As long as you care about what people think about you, you have no power and you lose your country. What I care about is freedom of speech. And if you're not allowed to say the most offensive things in this country, you do not have freedom of speech. I don't care what anybody says. So that's the main crux of this situation. That's what I care about with this situation. It is, we have lived for far too long in a country where you can have your life destroyed. And people say, oh, she doesn't need this money. Her life's destroyed, by the way. She'll never be able to get another job. She's got children to have to support. And I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way, black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly. And you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
N-
not have
Go on,
free speech.
go on. Say the N word. Go on.
No.
Hang on.
No. I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and asking her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do. But we already know she's racist. And I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, so we're going to stop it right there. What an absolute clown show. This was, I don't even know what to say. But the hypocrisy there is stunning. Because he just sat there, Mark Lamont just sat there and called Myron Gaines a racial slur. And he directed this racial slur at Myron. He actually called him this to his face directly. But when Piers Morgan asked this white woman to use the word, not at anybody, just to say the word, it's a problem, right? Why is he allowed to call people racial slurs and everybody else is not? I mean, I don't understand that. These rules should apply across the board, right? If they can't say it, you can't say it. That's just how I look at it. If they can't call people racial slurs, you can't call people racial slurs. He just sat there, almost cried on live television. This is crazy. And it's hilarious how this is Piers Morgan uncensored, but he censored what Marcus said. And he was also advocating for censoring the woman, the subject at hand, as far as the woman that called the little black boy the N-word or whatever. He was advocating for canceling her. Like, Piers Morgan is completely inconsistent when it comes down to his ideas, right? It's really hard to tell which side this guy is really on. But absolutely comical. This guy is such a hypocrite to sit there and call Myron Gaines a racial slur and want to sit there and cry about another woman using the word not even directed at him. But this is what you get from these people. They want rules applied to you, but not to themselves. That's just how they work. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this meltdown. Absolutely entertaining to watch. Let's talk about this video in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And of course, if you are brand new, consider hitting subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.